John was excited. Today was the day his mother would finally meet the love of his life, Ada. He had been talking about her for months, but Mama always say a woman is not good because you love her. A woman is good because she respects your family. As they approached his family compound in the village, John squeezed Ada's hand. Relax, Mama will love you. Ada smiled nervously. Are you sure? What if she doesn't like me? John chuckled. You are beautiful, smart, and kind. What is not to like? Ada sighed. I've heard stories of street mothers-in-law. What if she's one of them? John stopped working and faced her. Listen, no matter what happens, I love you, and we will get through it together. Ada took a deep breath. Okay, let's do this. They stepped into the compound. Mama was seated on her favorite wooden chair, her wrapper tied tightly around her waist. She was peeling cassava with sharp, quick movements. When she saw them, she dropped the knife and wiped her hands on her wrapper. Ada quickly bent her knees slightly and greeted, Good afternoon, Mama. Mama eyed her from head to toe, taking her time. Good afternoon, my daughter. Welcome. John grinned. Mama, this is Ada, the one I told you about. Mama nodded but said nothing. She turned to Ada. Where are you from, my daughter? Ada smiled. I am from Nsukka, Mama. Mama raised an eyebrow. Nsukka. She turned to John. So you went all the way to Nsukka to find a wife? Are the girls in this village not good enough? Ada scratched his head. Mama, love does not know distance. Mama scoffed. Love, we shall see. Ada kept smiling though she felt uncomfortable. Mama, I have heard so much about you. Mama folded her arms. I hope only good things. John laughed nervously. Of course, Mama. You know I always say you are the best cook in the world. Mama smiled a little. That's true. She turned to Ada. Can you cook? Ada hesitated for a second. Yes, Mama. Mama's eyes narrowed. What is the first step in making ofen nsala? John's eyes widened. Oh no, he knew Ada had never cooked nsala soup before. Ada cleared her throat. You boil the meat first, Mama smirked, and then Mama smiled, and then Ada stammered, then you add pepper. Mama leaned back in her chair and shook her head. We shall see. John quickly changed the topic. Mama, should I bring out the drinks we bought for you? Mama waved her hand. Let me go and cook first. We will eat soup. She stood up and tied her wrapper tighter. Ada smiled. Okay, Mama. Mama looked at her, waiting. Ada remained seated. Mama entered the kitchen, shaking her head. She picked up a pot and placed it on the stove with more force than necessary. So she will not even stand up, she muttered under her breath. A visitor in my house, and she's sitting like a queen while I struggle in the kitchen. She grabbed some firewood and arranged it under the pot. These modern girls, they paint their faces, wear tight clothes, and call it civilization. But ask them to cook ordinary soup, and they will start stammering. She turned to the door, half expecting Ada to walk in at any moment, but silence filled the air. Mama scoffed. John said I would like her. Me. Like a woman who cannot. Mama scoffed. John said I would like her. Me. Like a woman who cannot enter the kitchen. She clicked her tongue. Not in this lifetime. Back in the sitting room, John shifted uncomfortably. He could feel the heat coming from the kitchen, not from the firewood, but from his mother's anger. He leaned closer to Ada and whispered, Maybe you should go and help her. Ada frowned. John, I don't even know what she is cooking. I don't want to make a mistake. John sighed. It's not about cooking, it's about respect. Mama believes a good wife should assist in the kitchen. Ada looked at him. John, this is my first visit. Shouldn't I be treated as a guest? John rubbed his forehead. In the city, yes. In the village, no. Here, your first visit is a test. Mama is watching everything. Ada sighed and crossed her arms. If she needs my help, she should ask. John shook his head. She won't. She's old-fashioned. In her time, no woman waited to be invited into the kitchen. Ada hesitated, then said, Okay, let's wait and see. If she calls me, I will go. John bit his lip. Mama will not call her. She will act first. Just then, Mama stormed back into the sitting room, her face hard like a grinding stone. She placed her hands on her hips. You are still sitting, she asked Ada, her voice sharp. Ada blinked. Mama's nostrils flared. Stand up and come to the kitchen, Ada hesitated. Mama, I don't want to spoil your cooking. Mama's eyes widened as if she had just heard the biggest insult of her life. You don't want to spoil my cooking? John swallowed hard. Mama, she didn't mean. Mama ignored him. She stepped forward, eyes locked on Ada. So you think you know better than me? You think my cooking is so delicate that one touch from you will destroy it? Ada quickly shook her head. No, Mama, that's not what I meant. Mama clapped her hands together loudly. Ewo, John, is this the woman you want to marry? A woman who cannot even step into the kitchen? A woman who sits while her mother-in-law cooks? Ada looked at John, panicked. John looked at his mother, helpless. Before John could intervene, Mama's hand swung through the air, landing a resounding slap on Ada's cheek. Ada staggered, her hand flying to her face, eyes widening with shock. "Mama!" John shouted, rushing to Ada's side. Ada's voice trembled. You slapped me?" Mama's chest heaved with anger. "In my day, a woman knew her place. You sit there doing nothing while I slave in the kitchen." John pleaded, "Mama, please, this isn't the way." Ada's eyes filled with tears. "I didn't mean any disrespect." Mama scoffed. "Disrespect? You don't even know the meaning of respect." The room was thick with tension. Ada strengthened, her voice firm despite the quiver. "John, I think it's best I leave." John looked torn. "Ada, please, let's talk this out." Mama interjected. "Let her go if she wants. A woman who can't respect her elders has no place here." Ada met Mama's gaze. "I came here with respect, but I won't stay where I am not valued." John reached for her hand. "Ada, don't leave like this." Ada gently pulled away. "I need time to think." After Ada left, John turned to his mother, frustration evident. "Mama, why did you have to be so harsh?" Mama folded her arms. "Harsh? You call teaching her respect harsh?" John sighed. "She was nervous. It's her first time here." Mama shook her head. "If she's like this now, how will she be after marriage?" John's voice rose. "People make mistakes. It doesn't mean they deserve to be slapped." Mama's eyes flashed. "In our culture, respect is earned through actions, not words." John took a deep breath. "Times have changed, Mama. We need to adapt." Mama's expression softened slightly. "Maybe, but some values should remain." Ada sat on her bed, tears streaming down her face. Her phone buzzed with John's calls, but she couldn't bring herself to answer. "How could she slap me?" she whispered to herself. Her friend Nneka sat beside her. Some mothers-in-law can be very traditional. Ada shook her head. "But I didn't do anything wrong." Ada sighed. "In some cultures, not joining in the kitchen is seen as disrespect." Ada clenched her fist. "I was trying to be respectful by staying out of her way." Nneka placed a hand on her shoulder. "Maybe it's a misunderstanding. Talk to John." Ada nodded slowly. "I need to understand why this happened." John paced in his room, phone in hand. His uncle Papa Emeka entered. "John, what is troubling you?" John sighed. "It's Ada and Mama. They had a confrontation." Papa Emeka nodded. "I heard. It's a delicate situation." John looked desperate. "What should I do?" Papa Emeka stroked his chin. "You love Ada?" "Yes." John nodded. "With all my heart." "And you respect your mother?" "Of course." Papa Emeka smiled. "Then you must be the bridge between them. Help them understand each other." John frowned. "But how?" "Start by talking to Ada. Understand her feelings, then speak to your mother. Explain Ada's perspective." John nodded slowly. "I hope they can find common ground." Papa Emeka patted his back. "With patience and love, they will." The next day, whispers filled the village. "Did you hear? John's fiancée was slapped by his mother. They say she refused to help in the kitchen. Such disrespect. In our time, that was unheard of. But times are changing. Maybe the girl didn't know." "Still, a slap? That's too much." The elders gathered, shaking their heads. "The youth today need guidance." Mama overheard the murmurs as she fetched water. Her heart felt heavy, but her pride kept her head high. Papa Emeka visited Ada at her home. "My daughter, may I come in?" Ada nodded, offering him a seat. "I know you are hot," he began gently. "Look down. I didn't mean to do what I did." Papa Emeka spoke to Ada in such a way that she would get to understand the side of Mama John and also apologize to her for Mama John's behavior. John convinced Ada to visit again, but this time she entered the kitchen. "Mama, please, teach me how you would like to cook." Mama smiled a little. "At least you have sense now." The tension melted a little. Mama spoke to John in private. "I don't hate her, but I need to be sure she will take care of you." John nodded. "She will, Mama. Just give her a chance." Mama sighed. "Okay, but tell her to always help in the kitchen." John laughed. "I will, Mama, I will." Thanks for watching my video. Please do not forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't, in order to get notified when we upload our subsequent videos. Thank you.